Welcome to the first ever episode of the Fighter's Insight. Today we're going to be talking about Clan Wars 39, which is going to be taking place on Saturday, March 20th.
The next fight we're going to be breaking down is the welterweight title fight between Josh Green and Chad Riley. These two guys are those spectacular KOs on the last Clan Wars show, Clan Wars 38.
Yeah.
So Ben, where do you see this fight going?
It's a striker versus striker match, but I see this fight going to the ground. You know, I think that Josh, being the shorter, more compact fighter, I think he's gonna push forward, and I think because Chad's a very good kicker.
Yeah.
So the way to counter a kicker is to put them on the back foot, because they need to set that back foot to get the power into the kicks.
But from seeing the last Clan Wars fight though, we seen Chad wasn't afraid to pressure up against the wall, and he's already one submission win on his record.
Yeah.
Do you think that is necessarily the best idea, just to go and grapple this kid?
Yeah, like I think he's like anybody that's competing now in MMA, is they're gonna be well rounded. But when I'm looking at them, I've seen more of Josh on the ground.
Yeah.
And he's built more compact for wrestling. Like, so I think like if he stands off of Chad, I think Chad could start picking him apart at range.
Yeah.
So I think he has to pressure Chad, and we know Josh has explosive power. Like that left hook was
7 seconds at all.
Yeah. So I think I think that Paddy Hoolan's a smart man. I think that they're gonna say, okay, like we're gonna test him on the ground anyway. And so yeah, I think taking Chad down and trying to grind him, take him through the rounds,
Yeah.
I think that will be their plan. And as I say, the opposite, I think Chad Riley wants to get him on the back foot, and get all the feints with his lead hand and stuff. And then
to be honest with you, I think Chad has a point to prove here. It's like everyone's talking of him being lead striker this, the lead striker that.
Yeah.
He said it himself, he thinks he's one of the best strikers in Irish MMA at the moment. Can't argue with the fact, like that beautiful head kick KO, beautifully set up. It's not like he does through the kick and pray. So I don't think that Chad is just going to look at this as a striking fight. I think Chad's going to be ready to wrestle, because he has a point to prove to himself that he can compete in MMA at the highest level against these guys. He's already talked about wanting to go pro anyway, so it's like, why not try and wrestle Josh Green, who we know is a good MMA fighter. He's a good striker, but he can chain the techniques very well.
Yeah.
But I think that it's not going to go that way. I think Chad's too smart, and I think that he's going to pick him apart in terms of like the distance, like what we were talking about the Solomon fight. I just think Chad will add more different kind of kicks up the middle, like a load of taekwondo kind of kicks that will put him off. So it's definitely an interesting fight.
I think Chad, as I say, is a good kicker, and that's what he's going to definitely look to do. Kicks from different angles, lots of feints and body shapes, and I think he might surprise us and show, like, maybe go for a takedown himself. We don't know.
I remember he came down to our gym before about 2 years ago, and like he taught me a lot about striking, and I still remember to this day like a lot of the techniques that he would have taught me. So it's kind of like, it's good that MMA can share the knowledge and freely like accept people into your gym. But if you're representing your own gym, that's your business. It's like, it's good to share the knowledge and all that. Is like, that's just a point I want to bring up in this.
Shout out Chad Riley for that.
Thank you.
Park the cannon, Hannon. So good matchup anyway, guys. Check it out. Go on these guys' Instagram bios for their pay-per-view link. And
Chad puts up a lot of stories anyway, so if you want to see lad working out, follow his Instagram.
Our next matchup is a highly anticipated female mixed martial arts international matchup between Shauna Bannon and Kate Bassek. What can I say about this one? This is going to be the typical striker versus grappler. Shauna's like a world champion kickboxer, and Kate is a high level grappler. She's got belts in Naga.
Belt, yeah. Also a Thai boxing background. I've heard that recently enough. So that's going to be very interesting to see how Katie's going to deal with not just the fact that it's her MMA debut, but it's an international fight.
Yeah.
Like flying over to Ireland during COVID times, and all this must be like even more procedure will add to the occasion and everything to go along with it. But I think that Katie, like, she will test Shauna Brennan's striking. It's like kickboxing against Thai boxing. Is like Kate. She's a tough chick. Like making her MMA debut against Shauna, who is a world and European champion striker. She fought on UKFC for 5 rounds against that Aspire girl.
She's a good Thai boxer.
Apologies, I forgot her name, but she's a high level MMA fighter herself, and Shauna went on a war with her, so.
And Shauna showed as well that she's not just a striker; she's good wrestling, and I think. For Kate is going to be looking to get this fight to the ground. She's a purple belt. She's a competitive purple belt as well. She's winning a lot of tournaments. And she's going to have to get the respect on the feet against Shauna. Shauna's very good in that point karate kind of style where she's in and out. Jab, slip, jab, cross, jab, left head kick she likes to do. And she throws that kick up like nothing. She's so flexible.
It's like even though Kate is highly experienced in jiu-jitsu competitions, winning Naga and all that, how do you think that she's going to feel like entering MMA? It's a different sport. It's her debut. It's a different country. Like, how do you feel like that's going to play a factor?
I feel like the fact that it's a closed door event, I think, is going to help, because everybody knows what the Clan Wars atmosphere is like in the Ulster Hall or even in the Crown Plaza. Like, it's their loud Belfast supporters, Northern Irish supporters, man. They're like, we're fighters.
They're a party, like.
So it's so I think this would be better for her MMA debut, although Shauna is a lot more experienced in mixed martial arts, so that experience, and she just experienced Shauna in competing. She's been doing martial arts since she was a kid. So it's going to be a great matchup, pure style grappler versus striker. As I say, I think Katie will need to get the respect on the feet. She's going to need to time a takedown or put Shauna up against the cage and chain takedowns. We've seen in our Instagram videos her doing suplexes and stuff, so hopefully we see a bit of that.
She's looking ready, like we've seen her sparring, we've seen her training her ass off, but I'm going to ask the opposite question to you now too. It's like Shauna is fighting this girl, Kate, like MMA debut. Can't find nothing on the web. It's like, how do you think that Paddy's and Shauna are going to prepare for this fight, even though they know she has a good jiu-jitsu background, they know that she has a Thai boxing background, but no MMA experience, so there's no videos to go back on. How do you think that they're going to prepare for that?
Well, I think wrestling, like Shauna is a good wrestler from what I've seen of her, and we've seen her compete in jiu-jitsu as well, and she's got jiu-jitsu.
Blue belt, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a blue belt. She's got jiu-jitsu. But again, my philosophy on fighting is fight them where they're weakest, not necessarily where you're strongest. But in Shauna's case, striking is going to be your strongest. It's kind of hard to know that though when it's their debut as well. So it's like you kind of have to test the pond in all of them. Yeah, but Shauna's world class. She's proven world class, and this girl, even though she might have trained Thai boxing, she's not fought in Thai boxing that we know of. So, like, experience is a lot, and I don't see, like, I see the girl going out having to get the respect on her feet. But Katie has to get the fight to the ground. She's a high level grappler, and that's her course to victory for me. And Shauna's is going to be doing what Shauna does: jab, cross, jab, left high kick, them side kicks, the spinning kicks. I think she has to be careful with the spinning kicks early in case Kate times the takedown, you know, and then you don't give your back or something like this. So yeah, it's going to be a great matchup. And if Kate does take her down, it'll be interesting to see then
the
how
developments of Shauna's game is like, she fought on UKFC, she fought 5 rounds over there.
Yeah.
5 rounds in England for belts, like, it's crazy shit if you ask me, like, but she fought it and she done it. And fighting in the IMAFs as well, didn't she?
Yeah, I think she was silver in the IMAFs.
Yeah, silver, yeah. So having that wealth of experience fighting the best females in the world in MMA, it's definitely going to show a good reputation of female martial arts in Ireland, that it's growing, and that more females could join. Who knows? Shauna might be the new Katie Taylor of MMA. Who knows?
And I think also Paddy Hooland is a very good grappler, and he's a good coach. And if I was him now, and I think Paddy will be doing this as well, he'd be checking out her jiu-jitsu matches just to see what kind of chains of submissions and sweeps that she likes to do, so then he can prepare Shauna for those scenarios. You
definitely,
know,
because it could be easier to set up the sweeps with punches and knees and kicks to the body and to the head now. So definitely that's what
and also when you're not in jiu-jitsu in jiu-jitsu matches, you're looking for sweeps and stuff like this and submissions. So but in MMA you're looking to create scrambles just to get back to your feet. So it's kind of different, the kind of timing, as we know ourselves when we're training. Sometimes we're like, that guy's dead, you know, I'm nearly getting swept there. You just like, you know, you
getting punched in the face and you're not getting swept no more.
Cool. Anyway, can't wait for this matchup. Get onto both girls on their Instagram pages. You'll see the links to their pay-per-view. Support these girls, follow them,
and support female MMA in Ireland.
So we can't wait for this one. Our next matchup is going to be an explosive matchup for the Clan Wars lightweight title between Solomon Simon and Dara Kelly. This is a really good matchup right here. I can't wait for this fight. What do you think?
This, in my opinion, the fight to watch on the 2 days is my personal favourite one. These two athletes are the two best featherweights in the country. Now they're moving up a weight class, getting rid of those dirty weight cuts. So it's going to be a lot better for the fighter's performance, and we're in for a show. Now, where do you think this fight's going to go, Ben?
I think Dara is the grappler, so I think he's going to have to close the range, and I think he first has to get the respect on the feet, so he's going to have to pressure forward, throw heavy hands before timing a good blast double leg. Solomon has good takedown defense, so I think he has to time the takedowns versus Solomon.
Knowing this fight, Dara has 8 finishes, 6 submission finishes, 2 TKO finishes. How do you think Solomon's going to go into this fight? Solomon's
going to be trying to control the distance, keeping it on the feet. He's going to look to negate everything that Dara does. So if Dara is going to be trying to take him down, he's going to be escaping them hips, getting up to that cage, and then looking to turn Dara and then get back into the center of the cage where he can start controlling distance and, you know, counter attacking. He's really good with that front kick up the middle. I seen him do against
Jakob, when it went all black out.
So I think he's gonna want to control the distance and start building his output as the rounds go higher. He kind of gets better, I feel in the second and third round from what I've seen of Solomon.
From looking at Solomon's fights, he's fought some of the best in the world and some in Europe, including some of the IMAF competition. And the fight that stood out to me the most was the Emil Poietek fight, where he showcased his good takedown defense. Ben, look, when Dara's watching this fight and he's seen Emil do such a masterclass in the defensive wrestling output, how do you think Dara's going to approach this fight?
I think he's gonna have to get this fight to the ground, like, you know, because I think he can maybe look at the Emil fight and see how Emil, even though Emil never got the takedowns, Emil was still able to close the range, get into good head position up
like
against
Emil
the cage.
is the better striker, but Dara's a way bigger, more presence of a character.
I think Dara will have a higher level of wrestling.
Yeah,
and he's a bigger guy as well. So I think a similar blueprint to what Emil did, except with the takedown, but also look to do damage in the clinch with knees and dirty boxing.
Lay on him, like.
Yeah, be a big heavyweight. And then again, Solomon's hard to keep there. He's going to be looking to just be a dead weight on Dara as Dara has him up against the cage, and then look to create an angle and escape out, slip out of there, and then take center of cage again where he can keep Dara back against the cage and land some strikes.
Yeah.
You know, I think. And again, Solomon gets better in rounds 2 and 3. So
looking at this fight, Emil against Solomon Simon showed some of the highest paced martial arts I've seen in years. Three minutes from start to finish.
Yeah, it's great.
How do you think that Dara is going to deal with that consistent pressure?
Yeah, that's going to be the key. Is when Solomon's a loose kind of a fighter.
Yeah.
And this is why when your arms filled with lactic acid from grappling exchanges, Solomon is still there, and he'll just pick you with little shots, nice loose shots. If anything, he gets better.
Yeah.
You know. So when the fight goes into that third round, that's going to be interesting just to see, like.
Definitely, because Solomon has been through the hardest of rounds, while Dara's just finished everybody.
Yeah.
Coming into that fight then is like you have a 100% finish streak against a decision machine.
Yeah.
Is like going to be very interesting to see where the fight is going to go, and I cannot wait for it.
Yeah. Either way is going to be a great fight. One of my favorite fights on the card. Please get onto these guys' Instagram channels, give them a follow, hit the pay-per-view link that's in their Instagram bios.
And shout out to Solomon's YouTube channel as well. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is it?
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel too. Showcasing his training camp.
Okay, Solomon King Simon, is it called?
Solomon King Simon, he'd have it on his Instagram anyway.
Okay, shout out to both guys, Dara Kelly,
Solomon. The next fight we're going to be talking about is the highly anticipated flyweight title fight between Matthew Friel against Henry Corgan. Ben, these two guys top the food chain. Where do you think this fight's going?
First, these two guys, man, they're like top UK and Irish flyweights. These guys, like, especially Matthew Friel now. Matthew Friel has fought and beaten practically everyone in the UK and Ireland, and he fought our student Carl McConway, the Quiet Man. Yeah, for the bantamweight title in the last Clan Wars. Not the last Clan Wars, sorry, two Clan Wars ago. And that was an absolute war, which Carl won. But shout out to Friel, he's a tough guy, very skilled fighter, and it'd be interesting to see his improvements since that fight.
Henry Corgan fought Carl as well.
Yeah, Henry fought Carl and beat Carl in a very close fight. So yeah, it's going to be good. Both of them are a lot of submission wins on their records. Yeah. And
going to go down to who's the better striker, I think.
Yeah.
Because we've seen, like, even Henry Corgan, he fought his last guy that he bet before Carl, he had like over 20 amateur fights. And Carl McConway, he bet Carl McConway. Is like, that just tells you yourself how good of a athlete that he is. But even at that, it was the striking of Henry that was impressive the most in that fight. It was like his heavy hands. So it was like, I think that he has the advantage coming into this fight. Because I just think his striking is a little bit better than we've seen so far. Unless Matthew has been working on that a lot. Yeah,
well, he had the K1 fight in the last Clan Wars 38, and he fought a good K1 fighter in that fight, and he won. He put a grinding display on, pushing forward, lots of volume strikes. So he's a tough kid, Matthew Friel, like. And I think on the feet, Corgan, he's a bit of a rhythm fighter, you know, and he's got good timing. Against Carl, he landed that one big overhand right, which was the best punch of the fight, I think. And but Carl was able to take him down quite handily. and keep him down. So I think that's going to be a very important battle versus Henry and Friel.
Yeah.
Because Carl was able to take both of them down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna. I think that's where it's gonna be very important.
It's like I feel like Henry has the better striking, but Friel has the better grappling in the exchange of the two fights, and we've seen that in terms of the Carl McConway fight because we can relate to it because the two of them fought it.
They both fought it.
It's like Henry didn't really try and take Carl down that much.
Yeah.
It was like he thought he'd be better than him on the feet, and it proved that his striking level is good. But at the same time, to Matthew Friel is like it's hard to take Carl down, and like you've tried to take Carl down a lot in that fight, but he'll learn a lot from that loss. Like I honestly think he will.
Yeah, we've already seen his improvement in the K1 fight. We definitely seen an improvement in the striking.
MMA is a different game though.
Yeah, smaller gloves. I think, like as I say, it's going to be interesting. I think, as you said, Matthew Friel, you think he'll be a bit more advanced on the ground.
Yeah, I
whereas
think so, yeah.
Corgan might have the edge in the striking department. So we're going to see who's a better wrestler.
He's a good grappler as well. Like Henry had a lot of submission wins, but it's just that little bit between the two fights. If I was to analyse it, it's like Henry has the stronger striking of the two, but Matthew has the stronger grappling of the two. So
I think this is going to be a real grind of a fight, a war.
I'd honestly love to see Carl fight either one of them again, to be honest.
So would I.
Or even jump Jar Harris into that mix as well. Is like they're, in my opinion, the four best flyweights in Ireland. Is like get Jar Harris on the next row. It'll be an interesting fight. Like
So I can't wait for this one, guys. Henry Corgan versus Matthew Friel for the Clan Wars Flyweight Championship. Get onto both lads on their Instagram and Facebook. Follow them. Pay-per-view link in their bios. Hit that link. Support these local fighters. Peace. Our next matchup is in the professional lightweight division between Adam Darby and John Bryan. This is a rematch. These guys fought at amateur level, I think in Akuma.
I think it was, and John won it.
Yeah, I think John won the decision, and very, very interesting fight here. Adam Darby is very tall for a lightweight. I think he's definitely over 6 foot tall.
Yeah, meeting him in person in Scotland, he is a tall dude. Yeah. So is his brother.
Yeah. And he has a very sidewards on kind of boxing stance, and so he's good with the jab and the straight shots. John Bryan is like a wrestle boxer kind of style.
Yeah, he was supposed to fight Ty Glennan back in the day, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was supposed to fight Ty Glennan as well. One of our old fighters. He's now gone to Team KF, and a Clan Wars vet.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that fight.
Yeah, it would have been good.
Yeah.
I think hopefully we'll see that one in the future.
Who knows?
Yeah, but so John Bryan in their first fight, I think it was a very close fight. I would have actually given it to Adam. I just feel like he landed more strikes, and I think John got the takedowns in that fight, but he wasn't able to do much off the takedowns. And I think the professional rule set, I think, will actually suit Adam, yes, because he'll be able to knee the head. So when John has him up against the cage, he'll be able to get a frame on his head and start kneeing and elbow in. Yeah, so I think
being the bigger, longer fighter with good takedown defense has its advantages.
Yeah.
But we've already seen John beat him. So how do you think that Adam is going to do differently to get the win, and what do you think John is going to do to get the win this time around?
Well, I think, as I said about Adam, I think knees and elbows are going to be key for Adam. These are 5-minute rounds now for this pro matchup, and I think that's going to allow him to set up more submissions off his back. He's very dangerous. He's got long limbs and he's climbing them legs up the whole time. And this is what kind of unsettled John in their fight, why John wasn't able to do much. So that's what I'm interested in for John. like to see in his improvement.
The development, he's a amateur fish at this rate.
Yeah, so I'd like to see what John is gonna be able to do with that. I think he'll maybe strike a bit more this time and get more respect. Maybe we'll see a bit of improvement in his striking. And if he takes Adam down, I think they're going to be looking to pass guard straight away, get past those big long limbs.
Yeah, and land some of them elbows.
Yeah, or maybe get to his back, or get to dominant positions. But you don't really want to be caught in Adam's guard. If you get caught in Adam's guard, you have to follow his hips. You have to not let him climb his legs up on you, and then maybe unleash some of his own elbows. But the thing is, Adam's body is so long that when you're in somebody's guard and their torso is so long, it's very far away from you to land them elbows. You have to first put hip pressure over them before you can even reach them. So
it's harder to do that with the trash that Adam has on the ground.
Yeah,
it's he has a few amateur submission wins, hasn't he?
Yeah. I think tactically, what I would do if I was John, I'd be looking to get, if I'm doing an entry for a takedown, I'd be looking to get to his back and try and weigh on him from the back, take him down there where you can get a hook in, get the Dagestani hand wrap where you trap the hand, keep the weight on them, put a grind on them. That's
them 5-minute rounds will play a tail also, because it's who has a championship mindset. And from what we've seen in the amateur circuit is John, he had 5 amateur belts or something like that. He had a crazy resume. And Adam, on the other hand, is he's from a very good gym, Team Rhino. We've seen he had a very good competitive fight with him before. It's just it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to use their styles in the pro game, as gloves and all that are smaller, and it's going to be interesting to see whether Adam will strike or whether Adam will try and get it to the ground.
I think he's going to strike. I think again, keep him long. There's 6 foot, he must be 6'2" or something like that, and knees and elbows, his hips are going to be that much higher than John's. So if John's in on against the cage, you should always be trying to get your back off the cage. And when he gets his back off the cage, get an underhook, the frame on the head, start kneeing, or the overhook, the frame on the head. Dangerous place then for John to be. You'll have to look for body locks or get down underneath the legs. Gonna be a good match. Can't wait to see it under the pro rules.
Oh, I can't wait. Different game.
So hit both guys up on Instagram on their bios for the Clan Wars pay-per-view link. Support them, follow them. Support local MMA. These guys, will be pushing to get into the likes of Bellator, or they'll be building their careers with Clan Wars. Clan Wars are handing out fighter contracts now. So yes, Clan Wars is moving up in the world. Support Clan Wars as well, guys. Give them a follow.
Hey, and the next fight that we're going to be talking about is the professional featherweight fight between Neil Ward versus Nathan Kelly. Ben, from knowing Neil Ward in your training of martial arts, he trains out of Rush. You would have trained with him before. So how do you feel like he's going to come into this fight?
I think that Rush, we know Rush, they're a good striking gym. They're a well-rounded gym actually, but they're very boxing and K1 type base. And training with Neil myself, he is a good striker. He's no slouch on the ground either, or with his wrestling. So I think the key to victory game for him is on the feet. Nathan Kelly is a black belt in BJJ, and Nathan Kelly, from what I've seen of the footage of him, he likes to kind of do trip takedowns. So when he shoots for a double, he's looking to climb his leg around your legs and entangle you when he takes you down. I call him lazy wrestling takedown.
Oh, big man wrestling, I call it. He's just laying on top of you, just looking for the hook around the leg.
Nathan Kelly also has very good takedowns up against the cage. He has good positioning with his head control. He likes to get a body lock on you with his hips out to the side of yours with the gable grip, and then he'd pick you up and slam you down. So he's got good chains of takedowns up against the cage. He also has decent enough striking now. Like, he's a nice jab. He does leave his left hand a little bit too low, so maybe Neil Ward will capitalize on that, and with swinging an overhand, he's prone to an overhand right. He stands quite straight up, doesn't move his head, you know, so yeah, Nathan needs to keep that left hand a bit higher and look out for that overhand right, you know. Nathan Kelly, like, he's won in this fight on the ground. Neil Ward is looking to be striking. He's a good counter striker, Neil. Like, he's got good explosive power as well. He's got knockout power. So yeah, he's going to be looking to control the distance of this and shut down those takedowns. And
don't forget that Paul Cowser is a brown belt jiu-jitsu himself, isn't he?
Yeah, Paul's decent on the ground. Yeah. So it's going to be typical striker versus grappler. Going to be a good test of skills in the professional featherweight division. It is.
Yeah, featherweight.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't wait for this one, guys. Hit up both fighters on Instagram on their bios for their pay-per-view links, and give them a follow as well, because it's so important for these upcoming fighters that they get the following. You know, it helps them get exposure and all that.
Same with every fighter on the card. Really, it supports Irish MMA North and South, where there's not as much shows on at the minute. It's like Cage Lakesy are doing a show in April as well, but other than that, there's not as much shows on. So great, any support is appreciated.
Yeah. Okay.
And the next fight we're going to be talking about today is the professional featherweight fight between Adam Gustaf versus Sammy Florian. Ben, how do you see this fight going?
Two experienced fighters here. They fought before. Adam won that fight.
Adam won that fight by vicious ground and pound. Yeah,
it was vicious TKO. From what I've seen of these guys, both of them, like, I think Adam is mixed. Like, he's kind of a guy who he strikes a bit, takes the fight to the ground.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I think he's well-rounded. Most of his finishes are coming from, his wins are coming from decision or TKOs. I think from their first fight now, Sammy, is it? Sammy?
Sammy, yeah.
Yeah, Sammy, he's a southpaw, and he looked to be controlling the distance in their first fight before I think he instigated the takedowns. Adam looked very strong, turned him, took him down. Or no, Sammy went for the rolling leg lock, and Adam was very heavy on top of him, good defense, and then pulled out, the finish with the TKO. So I think Sammy has a heel hook win on his record. So I think he likes a leg lock, but in MMA you have to know when to go for them, and otherwise they can get you in trouble. You can get a lot of bad ground and pound. So I'd like to see more Sammy striking, because he looked to be controlling the distance in that fight. He threw some nice leg kicks from the southpaw stance, and I'd like to see the fight stay a bit longer on the feet before going to the ground.
Adam fights out of a great gym, IFS, where they have Henry Corgan, the flyweight champion. They have Magic, the Magic Man, who's shining it up on Brave. Adam's experience on Bellator, Bama, and some of the highest promotions in the world, including Clan Wars. How do you think that he's going to bring this experience into this fight?
Yeah, definitely has a good team. Team IFS Belfast, great team. I think both of them have a lot of experience.
Does Adam has it more on the higher level of promotions?
Yeah, maybe in the bigger shows. But I don't know. I think
Bellator Dublin to Bama Dublin, there are big shows.
Yeah, I see. Unless we don't know what the development of both fighters is going to be, but I feel Adam, his wrestling, he's a big dude. We don't know if Sammy's strengthened up, bulked up a bit, but Adam looked physically a lot stronger than Sammy in that last fight. And so hopefully we see Sammy working on his condition, and I want to see this fight striking more. I want to see. I think Sammy rushed the takedown in the first round. Maybe he didn't realize the strength of Adam in that fight, and I think that knee bar
fighting out of France as well, like
I think that knee bar attempt could have been better, but I think it's a high risk kind of move.
It's a high risk, but it's like risk. Without risk, you won't get reward.
Yeah.
With 4-ounce gloves, elbows, and knees to the head, it's like you're risking a lot for a potential knee bar or a heel hook, which, if it pulls off, is a brilliant submission win. But at the end of the day, it's like I think Adam's experience tells, like in this fight from fighting Declan, like big tall dude. He's a big lightweight now. He fights on Cage Warriors. He fought Paul Hughes, highly exceptional featherweight on Cage Warriors. It's just like the caliber of fighters that he's been fighting, and he may have lost to them, but I think from them experiences is making him a better fighter.
Yeah, we've seen his improvement. So
he may have lost to Dylan Logan next, but I'm sure that he's going to want to get back on the winning column now on Clan Wars 40, isn't it? 39. Sorry, Clan Wars 39. Yeah,
it's going to be a good matchup, man, and I can't wait. Professionals, both well rounded.
All of these fights in the main card could be main event on any.
Yeah.
Man,
I think it's been a long time since we've seen this many professional fights.
Let alone
local
the best
card.
amateurs.
Yeah.
The best amateurs fighting each other.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often at times at pro, but like you have the flyweight belt, you have the bantamweight belt, you have nearly all the belts going up for a show. Like
shout out to Clan Wars for giving these guys opportunities during these hard times. Like, I think we've heard Dana White saying, that he's worried about grassroots MMA because without the grassroots MMA, you're not getting that filtration up into the big promotions, So
and the quality that go up as well suffer because like they don't have enough regional. As we said earlier, Ireland they're reducing like MMA shows. Is like Cage Lakesy in April are the only other show that I see going around, and IUO are thinking of doing something in August.
With the restrictions.
Pending.
Anyway, shout out to Clan Wars, give them a follow. Shout out to Paul McLaughlin, the promoter. He's our very own, like Dana White. He's a sound guy,
Full suits.
Big thanks to them for keeping young people's dreams alive.
And follow the two fighters.
Follow both these lads. Go on their Instagram page. And
we'll have the link on our bio anyway.
Thank you.